Olivia Krolczyk. If you don't know who she is a right-wing influencer. I use that term loosely, right-wing influencer. And she's dating 𝗙𝗍𝗆𝗀𝗀's kid, Brayden 𝗍𝗆𝗀. She posted this the other day, and she says, bring back bullying. Now, we're going to watch a video of a kid who is like, I watched this video, and I was like, dude, this kid seems like he's really loving his life. But she, if you look at her, it says Catholic Patriot. She's got a cross by her name. She says, bring back bullying for a kid. She's like trying to aim the internet at a kid. So let's watch the video. You ready? Here we go.
I just came back from Sephora, so here's a little haul for you guys. First thing I got was the Summer Fridays lip balm in shade Pink Sugar, I think. I was smelling it on the way back home. Guys, it smells so good. Guys, the lady was so nice there, and she gave me so many samples of the Laneige like water bank moisturizer and a bunch of hair oils. Last thing I got was the Bella Flor cream from Sol de Janeiro. This one smells so good. I have it in the spray, and I needed to get it in the lotion because it's really good. Bye, guys.
So there's a kid, right? He's a kid. He's being an influencer. I think he has a really good haircut, actually. He loves what he's doing, right? I have no issue with this kid. This kid is like grooving. He likes personal care products. More power to you, right? But her thing was bring back bullying, which everyone was like irritated by. But then look at what she says. She says, for everyone saying I'm a horrible person, let me explain. A little bit of teasing helps kids stay normal. Even when they don't have strong father figures at home, it reinforces what's normal and socially acceptable. The reason we have kids like this is because A, social media, B, lack of fathers in the house, C, everyone started gentle parenting, and you're not allowed to say the slightest thing that's considered teasing without the world exploding. But like, first off, the kid has a father. And the kid actually seems like he has a pretty good father because the kid's allowed to just be who he wants to be who he is. But like normal, stay normal. What is normal? What is normal? Oh, normal to her is like some Christian judgmental, like, I mean, I presume she thinks the kid is gay, right? Even though we don't know. Like, just because the kid has a little, like, effeminate energy or whatever is into skin products doesn't mean he is gay, right? I mean, we don't know that. He's just a kid. Like, he's probably not even, like, has any sort of interest in that shit yet. But to her, it's like, oh, she's assuming the kid is gay, and she's assuming that's, like, some crazy bad thing. But now she started getting roasted on the internet, when in reality, I think the kid is like, he seemed pretty fucking cool. And first off, I don't know if he's straight or gay. I would not make any assumption. And even if the kid was gay, so what? Now, let me just tell you this, guys, okay? Before we go into her response here, you ready? So I knew I was straight in probably first or second grade. Okay, I was in first or second grade when I started being interested in like some of my female classmates. And I started getting awkward around them. I started getting like curious about them and showing off for them. And it was probably about third grade when I started having like real significant crushes. Okay, so we're talking like 7 years old. It was pretty early that I knew that my girl classmates were like intriguing. Now, it wasn't about sex or anything like that because that was way beyond the scope of my kid brain. But I was curious about like kissing or like wanting to like snuggle up with them. You know what I'm saying? There was some physical curiosity. But I didn't really know what any of it meant. I just know that I was like enamored by them. And when a girl that I thought was interesting was around, I got this feeling that was really cool, right? So now, obviously around that same time, 7 years old, if I had been gay, I would have had the same thing, but it would have been for Billy instead of Susie. I mean, it is not remotely bizarre. It is something we all experience at a young age. The only difference is if you have the teasing and the bullying and tell people that normal means you have to like Susie, then everybody in first grade who likes Billy, all the guys who like Billy think, what the fuck is wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? I don't like Susie. I like Billy. And I should be able to like Billy, and it shouldn't be a big deal. That's the whole point of like accepting like people being gay or straight, is you get to decide when you're little, do you like Billy? Do you like Susie? Do you like none of them? Do you, right? You know what I mean? You don't like anybody, whatever. But like none of it is normal or abnormal. It just is. But for her, a kid like this, who seems like, this kid seems happy as shit. Okay? This kid seems like, I don't know, he seems pretty jazzed with his fucking Sephora bag, and he's showing you the lip balm, and he's showing you the moisturizer, and he seems like he's loving it. Okay? This kid has a dad. This kid has two parents at home, and this kid's out there, whatever, being a skincare influencer at a young age. And I say more power to him, right? If it makes you happy, you love it, you're living it, do your thing, right? He's got an engaging personality. Let him just do his fucking thing. And again, we don't know if this guy likes Susie or Billy or whomever, and it doesn't even matter. But now she, as you might imagine, she got dragged. Okay, she got dragged for, like, first off, suggesting that he should be bullied because he's not being the right type of boy, according to her with her little cross next to her name. And by the way, can we show you who her boyfriend is? Here's her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is about as gay as it gets, dude. This is her boyfriend. All right, I'm sorry, but your boyfriend ain't fucking straight. Okay, like, give me a break, dude. Like, you know, that's her boyfriend. She's got one of them Benny Johnson, right? Braden Sorbo, right? Her boyfriend is the new Benny Johnson. You know, I highly doubt this guy is straight. He may not carry a Sephora bag around with him, but believe me, somewhere in there is a Sephora lover. Trust, all right? Dude, I know, dude. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, shit. All right, now. Dude, she got dragged, as you might imagine, but watch the video she made, dude, where she says, bring back good parenting. But like, man, dude, she is so annoying. She is so annoying, dude. All right, here we go.
Recently, I found out that way too many of you are okay with kids being gay. Kids. I posted this video and I said, bring back bullying.
I just came back from Sephora, so here's a little haul for you guys. First thing I got was the Summer Fridays lip balm in shade Pink Sugar, I think.
I don't need to play the whole clip, you get the idea. But my point is that little boys don't act like this. Little boys don't wear makeup. But you guys think it's completely normal for a little boy to be acting like this, and it's not. If my little boy started putting on makeup and talking like this and having these mannerisms, I would be his first bully. He doesn't act like that. He's not a girl. That's not happening.
Dude.
But so many of you are gentle parenting in this generation, and look where it's getting us. Children should not even know what being gay is. They should not have even heard of it at this point. But of course, these parents are letting their children on social media like TikTok and Instagram at such young ages where all this being shoved down their throats is transgenderism and being gay.
Dude,
so they don't know any different.
She's so dumb.
Bring back bullying, bring back teasing. We need to let kids make fun of each other so that they don't turn out like this, because it's not normal.
Okay, so dude, I mean, how crazy is her projection? But let's take it bit by bit, guys. Because first off, in the beginning, right, is her thing of kids being gay. Like, first off, we don't even know that this kid is gay. Simply because this kid is into Sephora and lip balm and moisturizer does not mean he is gay. You have no idea. Like, she's making some crazy assumption that every like gender affirming, care loving person who's not like, hey, oh yeah, dicks up, is gay, right? And so that's a stretch. First off, you don't even know that the kid is gay. And not like it would matter if he was. But so that's number one. She's making some crazy assumption by what he's into that he's gay. Then number two, she says, bring back bullying, which means if a kid is the way you don't want him to be, she's like, she would be her first bully of her kid, which meant if she had a boy who liked makeup and dolls and lip balm, she would bully him and like make him feel shitty, make him feel like ashamed of himself for being who he was simply because she's got some preconceived notion of how the kid has to be. Like, dude, that's a terrible fucking parent. If you're bullying your kid, you have no idea what your kid's going to be. The whole point of having a kid is to discover who they are and get enriched by them and get exposed to their unique take on the world. But she's like, no, I'm going to bully my kid if he doesn't act the way I've decided a boy should be or a girl should be. But then right here, dude, where she says little boys don't wear makeup. First off, little boys love to wear makeup. Often, guys. Let me just tell you why. Because they see their mothers doing it. Okay? Little boys love their mothers, and they literally came out of their mother's body. So when they see their moms put on makeup, they see their moms dress in dresses, most little boys want to put on makeup and want to get in dresses simply to emulate their mothers. That is like the most natural fucking thing out there, is for little boys wanting to play dress up like their moms. That is so normal, guys. And that doesn't mean you're gay or straight or whatever. That is like so fucking normal. That is like 90% of little boys want to try on makeup and dresses and all that shit and high heels simply to bond with their mother. It's so normal. It is not abnormal at all. And in fact, if we went back a couple hundred years, the men did wear makeup. Okay? Through various time periods, men have worn lots of makeup. I mean, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, for Christ's sake. Like, come on, man. So that's all bullshit. But now here's where it gets weird.
Children should not even know what being gay is.
Okay, that right there, where she says children should not even know what being gay is. But the child who is gay knows first, second, third grade, they know that when they get the tingly feeling or they get excited, like showing off for the boy instead of the girl. Okay? If I were gay, I would know when all my little buddies are having crushes on Susie and Jane, I would be having crushes on Billy and Dave. Okay? So they do know at the earliest age if they have crushes on the opposite sex or if they have crushes on the same sex. They don't have a word for it. Like, knowing about gay just allows them to attach an identity to it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, believe me, when kids, it's not like kids don't know. They know what they're like intrigued by. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's not sexual because their minds are not in sex or anything. They're too young for that. But kids develop crushes at a very young age. And you know right away if you're crushing for the same sex or the opposite sex. So when she says, like, kids shouldn't even know what being gay is, it's like, how could they not? If it's a gay kid, he knows he has crushes on the same sex. She knows she has crushes on the same sex. Like, they know this. And the whole point of us is, instead of like, oh, that's bad, you should be ashamed of that, you should not be doing that, our whole job is to be like, no, that's totally normal. Like, yeah, some people like the same sex. Like, some people like, right? Like, some Chads are going to like Susie, and some Chads are going to like Billy. And who fucking cares, you know? But dude, she is so dumb. Like, to her, right? To her, it's like all kids have to be straight. They have to like be gender conforming to her ideals, which is girls wear makeup, boys don't. Girls can use like moisturizer, boys can't. Girls can style their hair, boys can't. Girls can put on eyeshadow, boys can't. And then it's like, you can't know what gay is. Like, oh, but her, she thinks people get on Instagram and they find out, ooh, gay is when a boy likes a boy. And they're like, oh, I'm going to go be gay. Oh. And like, dude, she's an idiot. She is an idiot for this stuff. It's so dumb. It is like kids literally know if they're straight or gay. They just don't know what that means. But believe me when I tell you, in my generation, all the boys that were like, we used to get chided by adults. Adults would be like, oh, you got a crush on her? You like her, right? If you hung out with a girl, they'd be like, oh, you got a crush on her, huh? You got eyes for her. But like, if in my generation, if that boy was gay, he was confused at that point where he's like, no, in his head, he's like, I have no interest in her whatsoever. But him, I find him to be a little intriguing. But like, dude, kids know.
They should not have even heard of it at this point. But of course, these parents are letting their children on social media like TikTok and Instagram at such young ages where all this being shoved down their throats is transgenderism and being gay.
Dude, she is so dumb, right? Being transgenderism and being gay. Dude, what an idiot. Transgenderism. What even is transgenderism? Give me a fucking break, right? There's no such thing as transgenderism. Like, dude, she is so, like, hideous, dude. This woman is like, I get it. She probably got made fun of for having horse teeth, and her boyfriend is like Benny Johnson, and so it's really hard for her. She is, like, struggling to be, like, a good Catholic abuser, right? And, like, I don't know. I don't know what her fucking deal is, but, like, dude, she is so bent. She is so bent. You know, this idea that, like, when religious people are like, kids shouldn't know what being gay is. But, like, dude, kids know. They know who they like. They know who they get crushes on. And they know that very young. And we should just be there to support them as it happens. Okay? We should. That's really what our job is, you know?
And being gay. So they don't know any different. So yeah, bring back bullying, bring back teasing. We need to let kids make fun of each other so that they don't turn out like this.
Dude, yeah. I mean, dude, we need to make sure kids don't turn out like her. The crazy thing is they think that, like, you know, what do they think? They think the gay and trans people in the 1600s, did they have TikTok back then? I mean, they didn't. Like, come on. These people are just idiots. I mean, they're religious, and they have a real problem, though, guys, because they have created their life around a belief that there's this supreme authority that dictates what they can and can't be, and everyone has to obey that. And if you're not obeying it, you're a threat to their belief system, right? Like, they can't be Christians if you're allowed to be gay and not ashamed of it. They can't be Catholics if you're trans and comfortable with it. That means their God is imperfect or something. That means their whole worldview is shattered. So they can't be who they are unless you bow down before them. And that's not going to happen, you know, because, you know, like, I'm sorry. I can show you transgender and gay people. You can't really show me your deity. I mean, bring them down. Okay, I'll bring some trans people and some gay people. You bring Jesus and God, and we'll have a kumbaya party, and we'll hash this out and figure it out. All right, but if you can't bring God and Jesus to the negotiating table, then I don't want to hear your belly aching, because you don't have an iron in the fire. Okay, that's the thing. If you can't bring your people to the table, then you don't get to negotiate. I don't negotiate with some fucking invisible entity. It doesn't work like that. All right? All right? Right? Dude, how do I look? What do you think? Is this the new look? I'm Olivia Krolczyk. Let me tell you what you are. Okay? Hi, I'm Olivia Krolczyk. Hi, I'm Olivia Krolczyk. I'm a Catholic, and I'm kind of an asshole, but I'm here to tell you what you are. Let me tell you what you can be, okay, Junior? Oh, no, you can't wear lip balm. Nope, you gotta take a Tonka truck and a gun. You gotta put a rifle in your hands, little man. Yeah, you gotta white trucks. Oh, shit. Dude. Oh, let's go. Dude, I love my 5 head. Mine's really only it's like a 6 head, actually. I have a 6-pack up there. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.